President Bollinger, Dean Valentini, faculty members, alumni, parents, and my fellow seniors in the graduating class of 2019. Today marks the culmination of our Columbia Odysseys. And the hallmark of these Odysseys has been the diversity we've encountered, both in terms of the disciplines we've studied and the people and ideas we have interacted with. Over the course of the past 4 years, we've studied works of literature, philosophy, art, and music. We have walked with Hector, debated Socrates, examined Michelangelo, and critiqued Mozart. This is only made possible because our alma mater holds fast to her tradition of keeping this wisdom alive. Because Columbia University does not only preserve the names of these philosophers on inscriptions in Butler Library, but also immortalizes them in the minds of those who walk through her gates. Today, we join a body of Columbia alumni, the trailblazers and torchbearers of modern times, who still keep wisdom from times gone by alive. However, there is more to our education than just the text we've read. After all, there is this wonderful scene from the movie Good Will Hunting, in which the titular character, Will Hunting, goes to a bar in Boston, we're in New York, goes to a bar in Boston where he comes across this Harvard student. And as is the case with any college student who's a couple of beers in, the Harvard student is discussing the economic modalities in the southern colonies. Now, Will confronts him and asks him for opinions of his own, to which the Harvard student proceeds to regurgitate yet another one of his readings. Now, Will leaves the conversation with a quip to the effect of this. And I'm going to try my best Matt Damon impression, but excuse me if it's a little off point because of this microphone. 50 years from now, you will realize that you've dropped 150 grand on an education that would have cost you $1.50 in late charges at the public library. But fret not, parents. There is another facet to our education, and this comes in the form of our ability to foster dialogue and discussion with those who have different ideas. Today, I am humbled to be a part of a group of remarkably intelligent people as diverse as this. We come from all across the world, out of different ethnicities, races, political and sexual identities. Yet, we are all brought together in our pursuit of and thirst for knowledge. We have discussed these ideas in the classrooms of Hamilton Hall all the way to the lecture halls of Teachers College, and even beyond the campus of Columbia. Today, we are privileged that our university is located in the Big Apple, in the city in which cultures intersect and ideas coalesce. In fact, I'm reminded of this instance from about 2 years ago when I was going to an Islamic center in downtown New York. Now, for context, that was a time when there was a degree of Islamophobic rhetoric amongst certain segments of society. And outside the center, there was a group of Jewish people who shook hands with me and told me that they stood by their Muslim brothers and sisters and were there to defend their rights. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the hallmark of Columbia and New York City's education. This shows how our great city stands true to the words on Lady Liberty's pedestals. And this reminds me of a quotation from Miss Evelyn Hall, which goes something like this: "I may not agree with your ideas, but I will defend to death your right to practice them." Now, it would be remiss of me to conclude this speech without congratulating and thanking a very special group of people. Now, hold on, graduates. I'll come to you in a minute. This is our parents. In Danish culture, there is a tradition to congratulate the parents on a child's birthday. And today, we extend this same courtesy to our parents who have stood by us from the very beginning. Thank you. Now, to conclude, my friends, I believe it was a famous psychologist who once remarked, Act 1 of every young man's life is the desire to go out and change the world. Act 2 is the realization that the world is not going to be changed by the likes of him. Let us pledge today that we will live well into Act 1 and that we will never turn the page. Thank you.